of our great state. I am here today with Angelica Infante Green, her husband Anthony, and her fabulous children, and most of her extended family, which is the first to announce that she is my nominee to be the next Commissioner of Rhode Island. You're here to meet Angelica, and I know you will fall in love with her as I have. So I will just make a few introductory comments and then turn it over to her. Also, her kids have been very clear that we all have to be brief. Before I begin, I want to take a minute to thank Ted Wagner for his work and recognize his dedication to Rhode Island and our school kids over the past handful of years. And wish him well and thank him for his hard work, his commitment, and setting the foundation upon which we will now build. There is no question that we are at a crossroads right now in K-12 education. Indeed, I think that's why this room is standing room only. And I see people from every walk of life in this room this morning. Last year's RICAS test results highlighted, it was a wake-up call in a way, and highlighted to all of us the need to improve student outcomes across our state. No one will ever convince me that the kids in Massachusetts or any other state are smarter or better than our kids, because they're not. But their schools are doing better, and the results are better. And it's because 2 decades ago, their leaders decided that they could do better. And they were going to set forth a plan and stick to that plan, even when times got tough, because their kids deserved it. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to stick with it. Now, unfortunately, our story in Rhode Island over that same time period has been a story of chasing different strategies and flavors of the day. And we're here to say we're not doing that anymore. We're here to say we're going to back a terrific leader, and every single one of us is going to get behind her to ensure her success so that our kids can achieve the high standards that we have for them and have the bright futures that they deserve. That's what it is. Months ago, when Commissioner Wagner advised me that thought it would be time for him to move on, I started to do the right thing, which was to, search and figure out who would be a good successor. And so I talked to experts, I talked to people who were smart in the field, and Angelica's name kept coming up. In New York, in Massachusetts, in Rhode Island, among teachers, among experts, among leaders. You got to among people who know a lot about L and how to teach L students so that they can achieve. You got to talk to Angelica, you got to talk to Angelica. And so we did. And this is a woman who has literally dedicated her entire life, her entire career, 25 plus years, to ensuring that all students have an opportunity to succeed. And her results speak for themselves in New York City and in New York State. Consistent improvements in the educational outcomes of all students. I'm going to keep saying that. Urban and suburban. Rich and poor. Inner city, every zip code, every race, every gender, every special need, every language, every kid, equal opportunity to be successful. That's the stage graduation rate increased, students made gains in math and English, and achievement gaps for Black and Latino students narrowed. That's what we want to see happen here. Angelica is a first-generation American. She was an English language learner herself. Her beautiful mother is here with us today. And she is nationally recognized for her efforts to support English language learners. You're going to hear her story in a minute. She has two beautiful children here. At the end of the day, the reason that I'm nominating her is she knows what she's doing. She has a 25-year track record of success across a number of different experiences. But she's a fierce fighter for children, her own children, and everyone else's children. And as every mother and father knows, you'll do anything for your own kids. And she's going to take that attitude to all the kids of Rhode Island. And it's not going to be easy, and not everything will be perfect, and it sure as heck isn't going to happen overnight. This is about the hard work in the trenches, day after day, at every level of our education system, and refusing to give up until we make the gains that we need. So with that, I want to turn it over to our guest of honor and my nominee to be the next Commissioner of Ride. Please join me in welcoming Angelica Fontaine-Green.
I feel incredibly blessed to be here with you today. My son was also very joyous. I'm very excited about this opportunity, but I'm excited for all of us. This is a moment that we all have to capture. This is a moment that I feel that we are going to work together. But I want to take this time for you to get to know me a little better, so you know who will be working with you, who will be your champion, and who you will come and have as the person that will fight for your children. So what drives me is a couple of things. I'm a mother of two kids. Asher, who's 11, Ayana, who's 8, and sometimes thinks she's 15. And I'm a wife to an amazing husband who is so supportive that allows me to do the work. Because this work is hard. And unfortunately takes me out of my house to do the work for all the kids. So thank you, Anthony. The second part is that I'm a Latina woman. I'm a woman of color. But what that means to me is that I've had to fight my entire life. Nothing was handed to me. Everything that I have today, I had to fight and work very hard for. So that's non-negotiable for me. This is how I live my life. This is no different. And we're embarking in a huge undertaking that it's going to take all of us to roll up our sleeves and work hand in hand to get this done. This is not just an education initiative. This is going to be a Rhode Island initiative. I'm going to count on all of you. So, aside from being a strong Latina woman, I'm also a teacher at heart. I've always been a teacher. And those of you that are parents know that your children teach you things every single day. We grow as professionals. I don't know one single teacher that doesn't like to grow and learn. That's just who we are. So I want to take you back to my first day of teaching in the South Bronx. If any of you know New York, the South Bronx is the toughest area in the city of New York. And I walked into that classroom and I had 30 children, 12 books, and 10 pencils. So what did I do? I became friends with Kinko's. Remember who that is? You know, the copy center. I spent many, many, many hours, and I won't tell you what I did, but I had 30 books. Because it's what I had to do. I remember enlisting my brother to come teach the parents English with me. Because it takes everyone to do this work. And that's what I'm expecting, that we're all going to do this work. I don't believe in excuses. Our kids don't deserve excuses, and we can't tolerate them. This is about solutions, about moving forward and providing the best education possible. So I understand the power of education because I'm standing here because of the teachers that I have. I grew up on public assistance. So for me, this was do or die. This is not a luxury. It's what I had. My parents didn't have anything to leave me. There were no assets other than a strong education. So I'm coming at this from that vantage point, where there is no way that we are not going to provide the best education. It's just not acceptable. We're not doing it. I'm not going to allow it. So I'm going to tell you a quick story so you understand a little more about me. So in New York City, neighborhoods change from block to block. You could be in a very rich neighborhood, and across the street, and there could be a project. I was lucky enough to live in the middle. So I went to the school down the road where kids looked like me. They were brown and black kids. Struggling school, but okay. Then middle school came around. The middle school was not okay. We were not zoned to a better school. So my mother, who's sitting right here in front, decided that she was going to befriend the secretary in the school up the hill. And that's what she did. And she got my brother and I into that school because she understood what that meant. But I don't believe that any parent should have to do that. My mother had an impossible choice to make. And that's not what this is about. I was lucky. This work is not about luck. This has to be, we have to guarantee that all our students will have access to a high-quality education. That every single school, parents will feel like when they drop off their kids, they're in the single best school that they can have. That is the promise that we are making today, to work together. And I keep saying we, because it is a whole Rhode Island effort. So, as I say this with a sense of urgency. We don't have the time. I will be starting at the end of April, and we're going to hit the ground running. Because it is important that we start the work and that we be very involved in everything that's happening throughout the state. A strong foundation has already been laid in Rhode Island. And you heard the governor. We're going to stick to that foundation. We're not going to waver. We're not going to go back and forth. So don't ask me to do that. Because we're going to work together. We're going to have high-quality professional opportunities. I have to tell you, when I was a teacher, I remember teaching my kids and spelling words and all these things, and then I went and got Orton Gillingham trained. My life changed. I could reach my kids in a very different way. For those of you that don't know what Orton Gillingham is, it's a multi-sensory approach to reading and writing. It's for dyslexic kids, intended for dyslexic kids. Every single one of my kids benefited from it. Every single one of my kids left reading. So, it matters. Professional learning opportunities matter. Curriculum matters. And we're going to ensure that we are on that path. I'll tell you another story. Quick story. My son, who's laughing here, is on the spectrum. Okay? And this is very emotional for my family. So when he was first diagnosed when he was 18 months, when you're a first-time parent, you're very excited, and here we are thinking, oh, we're going to put him in this gifted program, we're going to do this. And then he gets diagnosed. My life changed. Spent 3 months crying. And I remember looking at my husband and saying, why us? We're good people. And he turned to me and said, why not us? We're the best people for this child. And the reason that I share that kids learn differently, that teachers need support, that principals and administrators need support, that we're going to do this. This is what drives me. The kids that I look at that look like me, kids that don't look like me, kids that may be in honors program that need to be challenged. It's about all kids. So I think that if you were to ask me a word that describes me, so this is the no-nonsense part. Aren't you going to sit with Grandma? It would be about equity. And just so that we're clear, equity means all, and I mean all. I represent all kids that look like me, that don't look like me, that sound like me, that don't sound like me. It doesn't matter. That's who I represent. And one other important thing is that language matters to me a great deal. Because language then goes actions, so that it all works together. So I will never say disabled, because the prefix dis means cannot. So our children are not disabled. Our kids are differently abled, because that's what this is about. You will never hear me say English language learners either. It's about multilingual learners. We're hoping that we will all be bilingual at some point, right? But I want to thank you for this opportunity. I can talk to you so much about me, my family, what drives me. But I have to say to you that I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to be behind you, stand beside you, and help lead this work. But I can't do it without you. And I expect that every superintendent, every principal, every teacher, that we work together. Leadership it's not just a title. We're all leaders in this work. Our kids depend on us. And business owners, I'm coming. Right? I hear Hasbro's here, we're going to be friends, right? So I want to thank you, and with extreme gratitude for listening to me and for being my ally, and I will continue and will fight and be your advocate for your child's education. My 8-year-old, when she was 5, came home one day and she asked me, Mom, have you done something noteworthy at work today? And I said, noteworthy? I said, sadly not. But I made a commitment to her that every work, every day will be noteworthy. So thank you very much.